Snuggle up tight, little ones, and close your eyes. Let's drift into a magical place, a sunny valley town where flowers bloom like happy, colorful smiles, swaying in the warm sunlight. The grass is soft, like a big cozy blanket, and the air smells sweet, like honey and morning dew. In this special place, where everyone is kind and happy, lives a tiny, cute baby puppy named Sparkle. His big, sparkling eyes shine like little stars in the sky, twinkling with wonder and love. This morning, Sparkle wakes up in his fluffy bed, his little paws stretching high above his head. He yawns a big, sleepy yawn. His bed is covered in soft blankets, and he's wearing his favorite Starlight Pajamas, blue and shimmery, like the night sky full of twinkling stars. Sparkle loves these pajamas because they make him feel safe and cozy, like a warm hug from the moon. Every night, he dreams of chasing glowing fireflies and dancing with fluffy clouds. Oh, how he loves those dreams! But today, something funny happens. Sparkle wiggles and waggles in his sleep, chasing a dream butterfly, flap, flap, flap. His little tail twitches, and his paws bounce, and then, oh no, there's a tiny, tiny sound. Pop! Sparkle's big, sparkling eyes pop open wide, full of surprise. He looks down, and oh dear, his favorite Starlight Pajamas have a little rip right on the tummy. The shiny fabric has a tiny tear, like a little star that fell out of the sky. Sparkle's heart goes thump-thump. He feels a big mix of feelings swirling inside him, like a colorful whirlpool. First, there's excitement, oh yes. Sparkle's eyes sparkle brighter than ever because a rip means something new is about to happen. Maybe an adventure. Maybe a journey to a magical place. His little tail wags, and he imagines all the fun things he might see, maybe a rainbow river or a talking tree. But then, a tiny bit of fear tiptoes into his heart, like a quiet shadow. What if fixing his pajamas is too hard? What if he has to go far, far away from his cozy bed? The world outside his sunny valley town is so big, and Sparkle is so small. His ears droop just a little, and he blinks his big eyes, wondering what to do. But Sparkle's soft heart whispers to him, like a gentle breeze. Everything will be okay, Sparkle, it says. You're brave, and you're kind, and you can do anything with a little help. Sparkle takes a deep breath, puffing out his fluffy chest. He yawns again, soft and slow, feeling a little calmer. His big eyes look around his room, where sunbeams dance on the walls, making patterns like happy little stars. He knows his pajamas are special, made of magical things that help him sleep and dream sweetly. To fix them, he'll need to find the coziest, most wonderful pieces, maybe buttons that sparkle like dreams, threads as soft as clouds, and strings that feel like a hug. Sparkle isn't alone in this sunny valley town. Oh no! He has a best friend who's as silly as a bouncing ball. It's Quacky the duck, who's always tripping over his own webbed feet and making everyone giggle. Sparkle thinks of Quacky and smiles, his tail wagging faster. Quacky will know how to help, and he'll make the adventure so much fun. Sparkle imagines Quacky waddling over, quacking a silly joke, and falling into a pile of leaves with a big flop. That thought makes Sparkle laugh out loud, a happy little yip that echoes in his cozy room. His fear starts to melt away, like ice cream on a warm day. Sparkle pads over to his window, his little paws soft on the wooden floor. Outside, the valley town glows in the morning light. The flowers wave hello, and the birds sing a gentle song, like a lullaby just for him. Sparkle's big, sparkling eyes fill with wonder as he looks at the hills in the distance, where clouds float like fluffy marshmallows. He knows his adventure will take him to magical places, maybe to a mountain where dreams are born, or a garden where flowers sing. His heart feels warm, like he's wrapped in a big, soft hug. Even though he's a little scared, he's so excited to see what's out there. Let's rest with Sparkle for a moment, little ones. Close your eyes, feel your cozy blanket, and imagine a sunny valley where everything is soft and kind. Sparkle's big, sparkling eyes blink slowly, feeling heavy and calm. He dreams of the adventure ahead, where he'll meet new friends and find the most magical things. His soft heart whispers again, "You're ready, Sparkle. You're brave, and you're kind." And with that, he feels safe, like he's wrapped in a starry blanket, ready for the journey that's waiting just outside his door. Tomorrow, Sparkle will find Quacky, and their adventure will begin. But for now, let's drift into a gentle, peaceful sleep, dreaming of starry skies and happy smiles. Good night, little ones. Sleep tight, just like Sparkle. Sparkle trots out of his cozy house, his little paws pattering softly on the warm, sunny path. The flowers wave at him, their petals bright like happy smiles, and the breeze whispers, "You're so brave, Sparkle." His big eyes shine as he heads to the sparkling pond, where the water glimmers like a mirror full of stars. He feels a flutter in his tummy, wondering if he can really fix his pajamas. But then, he hears a funny sound, quack, quack, flop. Oh, who could that be? It's Quacky the goofy duck, Sparkle's best friend in the whole wide world. Quacky waddles toward the pond, his big webbed feet tripping over each other. He tries to do a fancy spin, but, oh no, he tumbles right into a pile of soft lily pads with a big, silly splash. Sparkle's eyes light up, and he lets out a happy yip, giggling so hard his little tail shakes. Quacky pops up, shaking water off his feathers, and quacks a silly joke. Why did the duck cross the pond? To get to the quack side. Sparkle laughs and laughs, his giggles bubbling like the pond's tiny waves. That funny moment makes his fear feel smaller, like a cloud puffing away in the sky. Sparkle runs to Quacky, his paws bouncing with excitement. They meet by the water's edge, and Quacky opens his wings wide for a big, warm hug. Sparkle feels so safe, like he's wrapped in the softest blanket. His big, sparkling eyes look up at Quacky, and he yips softly, "My pajamas ripped, Quacky. There's a hole right on the tummy." Quacky tilts his head, his beak wiggling as he thinks. "Oh, Sparkle," he quacks, "that's no problem. We'll find the most magical things to fix them." Sparkle's heart skips with wonder, his fear melting like morning dew. They sit by the sparkling pond, the water twinkling under the sun. Sparkle tells Quacky about his special pajamas, made of magical things that help him sleep so sweetly. "We need cozy cloud buttons," Sparkle says, his eyes wide with excitement, and silky garden threads, and shimmering lake strings. Quacky's beak opens in a big, happy grin. "That sounds like the best adventure ever," he quacks, flapping his wings so fast he almost falls over again. Sparkle giggles, his tail wagging like a little flag. The thought of exploring magical places makes his heart feel big and brave. But then, Sparkle's ears droop just a tiny bit. "What if it's too hard, Quacky?" he whispers, his big eyes blinking with a touch of fear. The world outside their sunny valley town feels so big, and Sparkle's so small. Quacky waddles closer, his feathers soft and warm. "Don't worry, Sparkle," he quacks gently, "we'll do it together. I'll be with you every step, and I'll bring my best jokes." Sparkle's eyes sparkle brighter, and he nods, feeling a warm glow in his heart. Quacky's silly quacks and big hugs make everything feel possible. They stand up, ready to start their whimsical quest. Sparkle's tail wags faster, and his big eyes shine with wonder as he imagines all the magical places they'll see. Maybe a mountain where clouds hug the sky. Or a garden where flowers dance. Quacky bounces beside him, trying to juggle 3 shiny pebbles but dropping them with a funny clatter. "Oops," he quacks, and they both burst into giggles again. Sparkle feels so happy, like his heart is full of tiny stars. His fear is still there, like a quiet whisper, but now it's covered in excitement, like a blanket of sparkles. The sun shines down, painting the valley town in golden light. The birds sing a soft, sleepy song, and the flowers nod as if saying, "Go, Sparkle, go." Sparkle takes a deep breath, his little chest puffing out. He looks at Quacky, who's trying to balance a leaf on his beak and failing with a funny wobble. Sparkle yips with laughter, feeling braver every second. Together, they'll find the coziest, most magical things to make new pajamas. Sparkle's big, sparkling eyes blink slowly, feeling calm and ready. "Let's rest now, little ones," as Sparkle and Quacky stand by the sparkling pond. Close your eyes and imagine their sunny valley, where everything is soft and kind. Feel the warm breeze and hear Quacky's silly quacks. Sparkle's heart is full of hope, and he knows that with his best friend by his side, this adventure will be full of wonder. Tomorrow, they'll hop onto a magical leaf boat and sail through the whispering woods. But for now, let's drift into a gentle sleep, dreaming of sparkly ponds and happy giggles. Good night, little dreamers. Sleep tight, just like Sparkle. Our puppy, Sparkle, with his big, sparkling innocent eyes, sitting on a colorful leaf boat with his best friend, Quacky the goofy duck. Their boat is bright green with red and yellow spots, like a happy painting, gliding gently through the whispering woods. Sparkle's heart is full of wonder, like a sky full of twinkling stars, and just a tiny bit of fear, like a soft shadow hiding nearby. The leaf boat rocks softly on the water, like a cradle in the breeze. Sparkle's big eyes shine as he looks around, his fluffy tail wagging with excitement. The tall trees lean over the water, their leaves rustling like they're telling secrets just for him and Quacky. Fireflies dance in the air, their tiny lights twinkling like stars that fell to the ground. "Oh, Quacky," Sparkle yips softly, it's so pretty." His voice is full of joy, like a song that makes you smile. Quacky flaps his wings, trying to look fancy, but he wobbles and almost tips the boat, making Sparkle giggle. "Careful, Quacky," he says, his eyes sparkling brighter. The woods hum a gentle tune, and the water sparkles like a mirror full of stars. Sparkle's heart beats fast with wonder, like he's sailing into a magical dream. The trees sway, whispering, "You're so brave, little ones." Sparkle's tail wags faster, and he feels so excited, like he could bounce to the clouds. Quacky quacks, "This is the best boat ride ever," and tries to paddle with his wing, spinning the boat in a silly circle. Sparkle laughs, his giggles mixing with the soft splash of water, making everything feel warm and fun. But oh, what's that? A sudden rustle comes from the bushes by the water's edge. The leaves shake, and a shadow darts fast. Sparkle's big eyes blink, and a tiny fear creeps into his heart, like a chilly breeze. "Quacky, what's that?" he whispers, his ears drooping just a little. "Is it a friend? Or something spooky?" His fluffy chest goes thump-thump, and he scoots closer to Quacky, his fur brushing against Quacky's soft feathers. Quacky puffs out his chest, trying to be brave. "I'll check it out," he quacks, but as he leans over, he slips, splash, right into the water, sending a big wave over the boat. Sparkle yips in surprise, then bursts into giggles as Quacky pops up, his feathers sticking out like a funny, wet hat. "Oops!" Quacky quacks, shaking water everywhere. "It was just me, Sparkle. No spooky things here." Sparkle laughs so hard his little paws wiggle, and the fear in his heart melts away, like a snowflake in the sun. The bushes rustle again, but now it's just a tiny frog hopping out, blinking at them with big, curious eyes. "Hello, friends," the frog croaks, and Sparkle's tail wags again. The woods aren't scary, they're full of friends who make his heart feel light. The leaf boat keeps floating, swaying gently, like a lullaby wrapping Sparkle and Quacky in calm. The fireflies light their path, their glow soft and warm, making Sparkle feel cozy and safe. His big, sparkling eyes look around, filled with wonder at the whispering woods. The trees hum softly, and the water glitters like a starry blanket. Sparkle's heart feels big and brave, even after that little scare. Quacky tries to juggle two shiny pebbles from the water, but they slip and plop back in, making them both giggle again. "You're so silly, Quacky." Sparkle yips, his voice full of happiness. As they sail on, the woods grow quieter, the whispers softer, like a bedtime story hugging them close. Sparkle's big eyes blink slowly, feeling heavy and happy. He yawns a tiny yawn, his fluffy fur warm in the sunlight peeking through the trees. "This is so magical," he whispers, his heart glowing like a firefly. Quacky nods, trying to balance a leaf on his beak, only to drop it with a funny quack. Sparkle's giggles echo softly, and he feels ready for whatever comes next, his heart full of sparkles and bravery. The mountain of dreams looms high above, its peak hidden in fluffy clouds that swirl like cotton candy. Sparkle's big eyes grow wide, sparkling with excitement as he gazes up. The clouds look so soft, like a big, cozy bed in the sky, and the mountain glows with a warm, golden light. "Oh, Quacky," Sparkle yips softly, "it's so beautiful." His little tail wags, and he feels like he could float right up to the top. Quacky flaps his wings, trying to look brave, but his webbed feet slip on the wet grass, and he tumbles into a pile of soft moss with a funny quack. Sparkle giggles, his heart feeling light, like a feather dancing in the wind. They start to climb, their paws and feet pattering on the smooth, sparkly stones. The path is gentle, winding up the mountain like a soft ribbon. Sparkle's big eyes shine with wonder as he watches the clouds swirl closer, their edges glowing pink and gold. The air smells sweet, like warm cookies, and the mountain hums a quiet song, like a lullaby just for them. Sparkle's heart beats fast with excitement, imagining what magical things wait at the top. "Maybe we'll find the coziest buttons ever," he yips, his voice bubbling with joy. But then, oh my, a low rumble echoes from the sky, like a grumpy tummy growling far away. Thunder. Sparkle's ears droop, and a tiny fear creeps into his heart, like a chilly shadow. "Quacky, what's that sound?" he whispers, his big eyes blinking fast. The thunder rumbles again, softer but still scary, and Sparkle scoots closer to Quacky, his fluffy fur brushing against Quacky's feathers. His heart goes thump-thump, wondering if the mountain is too big for a little puppy like him. Quacky puffs out his chest, trying to be brave. "Don't worry, Sparkle," he quacks. "That's just the cloud saying hello." Why did the cloud go to school? To learn how to rain. Sparkle giggles, his fear fading a little, like a cloud puffing away. Quacky keeps quacking silly jokes as they climb, his voice soft and cheerful. Why do clouds love to dance? Because they've got the best moves in the sky. Sparkle laughs, his tail wagging again, and he feels braver with every step. They stop for a moment, sitting on a smooth rock to catch their breath. Sparkle looks at Quacky, his big eyes full of warmth. "You're the best friend ever, Quacky," he yips, his voice soft and heartfelt. Quacky wiggles his beak, trying to balance a tiny pebble on it, but it rolls off with a plop, making them both burst into giggles. That silly moment wraps Sparkle's heart in a cozy hug, chasing the fear away. The path winds higher, and the clouds feel so close, like Sparkle could touch them. His big eyes sparkle with wonder, and he imagines the clouds hugging him, soft and fluffy. "We're almost there, Quacky," he yips, his excitement bubbling like a fizzy drink. Quacky nods, flapping his wings, but he trips over a root and does a funny wobble, quacking, "Who put that there?" Sparkle laughs so hard his little paws bounce, and the mountain feels less scary, like a big, friendly giant. As they climb, they share quiet moments, their hearts full of courage. Sparkle's fluffy chest puffs out, and he feels proud, even with the thunder rumbling softly in the distance. Quacky quacks, "We're so brave, Sparkle. Like superheroes." Sparkle nods, his big eyes shining with a mix of excitement and calm. The mountain's glow wraps them in warmth, like a soft blanket, and Sparkle's fear feels smaller, like a tiny pebble he can step over. He knows something wonderful is waiting at the top, something magical to help fix his pajamas. The air grows cooler, and the clouds swirl closer, their soft edges brushing against Sparkle's fur. He yawns a tiny yawn, his big eyes blinking slowly, feeling heavy and happy. The mountain hums its gentle song, and Sparkle's heart feels big and brave. "This is so magical," he whispers, his voice like a soft breeze. Quacky tries to juggle two sparkly stones, but they slip, clattering down the path with a funny clink. Sparkle's giggles echo softly, filling the air with joy. They reach a cave, its entrance shimmering with glowing clouds that swirl like cotton candy. Sparkle's big eyes grow wide, sparkling with excitement as he peeks inside. The cave is warm and cozy, like a big hug, with soft light dancing on the walls. "Oh, Quacky," Sparkle yips softly, "it's like a dream." His little tail wags, and he feels like he's floating in a fluffy cloud. Quacky waddles beside him, trying to puff out his feathers to look brave, but he trips over a sparkly pebble and lands with a funny quack. Sparkle giggles, his heart bubbling with joy, like a stream full of bubbles. Inside the cave, they meet the wise gentle giant bear, his fur soft and brown, like a warm blanket. His eyes twinkle kindly, and his voice is deep and soothing, like a lullaby. Sparkle stares in wide-eyed wonder, his big eyes shining brighter than ever. The bear smiles and begins to share stories of dreams, tales of flying with stars, dancing with moonbeams, and cuddling with clouds. Sparkle's heart feels warm, like he's wrapped in a cozy hug, and he listens, his tail wagging slowly. Quacky tries to sit still but wiggles his beak, making a funny face that makes Sparkle giggle softly. But then, oh my, a loud boom of thunder echoes through the cave, closer now, like a grumpy giant stomping. Sparkle's ears droop, and a tiny fear creeps into his heart, like a chilly shadow. "What's that?" he whispers, his big eyes blinking fast. His fluffy chest goes thump-thump, and he scoots closer to Quacky, his fur brushing against Quacky's soft feathers. The thunder rumbles again, and Sparkle feels small, wondering if the storm is too big for a little puppy like him. Quacky puffs out his chest, trying to be brave. "It's just the sky talking," he quacks, then tries to whistle a tune but makes a funny squeak instead, making Sparkle smile. The gentle bear sees Sparkle's fear and leans down, his big paws soft and warm. "Little Sparkle," he says, his voice like a warm breeze, "storms always pass, just like bad dreams. You're braver than you know." He opens his arms, and Sparkle runs into them, feeling a heartfelt hug that wraps him in safety. His big eyes blink up at the bear, sparkling with trust. The fear in his heart melts, like snow in the sun, and he feels calm, like he's resting in a soft bed of clouds. Quacky joins the hug, flapping his wings and accidentally tickling Sparkle's nose, making them both giggle. The bear reaches into a glowing cloud and pulls out a handful of cozy cloud buttons. They sparkle softly, like tiny stars you can hold. "These are for your pajamas," he says, his voice gentle. "They'll bring you sweet dreams." Sparkle's big eyes shine with wonder as he takes the buttons, their glow warm in his paws. "Thank you," he yips, his voice full of joy. Quacky tries to juggle one button but drops it with a funny clatter, quacking, "Oops, too shiny." Sparkle laughs, his heart feeling light, like a feather floating in the air. The cave glows brighter, the clouds swirling softly around them. Sparkle's big eyes blink slowly, feeling heavy and happy. He yawns a tiny yawn, his fluffy fur warm in the cave's cozy light. The bear's stories and hug make him feel safe, like he's wrapped in a starry blanket. "You're so kind," Sparkle whispers, his voice soft and heartfelt. Quacky nods, trying to balance a cloud button on his beak, but it rolls off with a silly plop, filling the cave with their giggles. The thunder rumbles far away now, soft and quiet, like a sleepy sigh. Sparkle's heart feels big and brave, full of warmth and trust. He knows storms pass, and so do fears, especially with friends by his side. The cave hums a gentle song, like a lullaby, and Sparkle's big eyes sparkle with calm. He holds the cloud buttons close, their glow soothing his heart. Quacky waddles closer, his feathers fluffy, and they share a quiet moment, feeling happy and safe. The cliff stretches high above a secret silk garden far below, where flowers glow like little lanterns. Sparkle's big eyes shine with excitement as he looks down, his fluffy tail wagging fast. The garden looks so pretty, with colors swirling like a rainbow blanket. "Oh, Quacky," Sparkle yips softly, "it's like a dream down there." Quacky flaps his wings, trying to look brave, but his beak wiggles with a nervous quack. In his wings, they hold a big petal parachute, pink and soft like a flower's hug, ready to carry them to the garden. Sparkle's heart beats fast, like a little drum, full of bubbly excitement. He imagines floating down gently, landing among the sparkly flowers. But then, oh my, he looks at the cliff's edge, so high and steep. A wave of fear tiptoes into his heart, like a chilly breeze. "What if we fall, Quacky?" he whispers, his big eyes blinking fast. His ears droop just a little, and his fluffy chest goes thump-thump. The world below seems so far away, and Sparkle feels so small. Quacky puffs out his feathers, trying to be brave. "Don't worry, Sparkle," he quacks. "We'll float like feathers." Quacky starts tying the parachute strings, but, oh no, his webbed feet slip, and he tumbles into a pile of petals with a wobbly quack. The strings tangle around him, and he looks like a duck wrapped in a pink bough, quacking, "Help, I'm a flower." Sparkle giggles so hard his little paws bounce, and the fear in his heart melts like a popsicle in the sun. He helps untangle Quacky, his big eyes sparkling with laughter. Quacky shakes his feathers, grinning. "See? Nothing's too scary with a silly duck." Sparkle yips happily, feeling braver already. They stand together, holding the petal parachute tight. Sparkle's big eyes glow with excitement, his tail wagging like a tiny flag. "Ready, Quacky?" he asks, his voice soft but strong. Quacky nods, his beak wobbling. "Ready," he quacks, then tries to do a fancy hop but flops onto the parachute instead, making Sparkle laugh again. They count together, 1, 2, 3, and leap off the cliff, their paws and wings holding the parachute high. For a moment, Sparkle's heart jumps, but then the parachute opens, soft and wide, like a big, fluffy cloud. They float gracefully down, the wind whispering gentle lullabies in their ears. Sparkle's big eyes shine with joyful wonder, the fear turning into a warm glow, like a firefly's light. The world below sparkles, the garden growing closer, its flowers twinkling like stars. "We're flying, Quacky." Sparkle yips, his voice full of happiness. Quacky flaps his wings, pretending to steer, but he spins the parachute in a silly circle, quacking, we're dancing." Sparkle giggles, his heart feeling light, like he's floating in a dream. The breeze hugs them softly, rocking the parachute like a cradle. Sparkle's fluffy fur ruffles, and he yawns a tiny yawn, his big eyes blinking slowly. The garden below looks so cozy, like a blanket of colors waiting to wrap them up. Quacky tries to juggle a cloud button in the air, but it slips and bounces off his beak with a funny plink. Sparkle laughs, his giggles echoing in the soft wind. His heart feels big and brave, knowing that even high cliffs aren't so scary with a friend by his side. As they drift lower, the flowers' glow lights up their faces, making Sparkle's big eyes sparkle even more. He feels calm, like he's wrapped in a starry hug. "This is so magical," he whispers, his voice like a gentle breeze. Quacky nods, his feathers fluffy, and tries to make a funny face but sneezes instead, sending a puff of petals flying. Sparkle's laughter rings out, soft and happy, filling the air with joy. The garden glows with shimmering flowers, their petals sparkling in red, blue, and gold, like a blanket of jewels. Sparkle gasps, his big eyes wide and shining brighter than ever. "Oh, Quacky," he yips softly, "it's like a dream." His fluffy tail wags fast, and he feels like he could dance with the flowers. Quacky waddles beside him, his feathers fluffed with excitement, but he tries to do a fancy twirl and bumps into a sparkly blossom with a funny quack. Sparkle giggles, his heart bubbling with joy, like a fizzy drink. Bubbly butterflies flutter around them, their wings glowing like little lanterns. They hum a gentle song, like a lullaby, guiding Sparkle and Quacky deeper into the garden. Sparkle's big eyes sparkle with wonder as he watches the butterflies dance, their colors mixing like a painting in the sky. He feels so happy, like he's wrapped in a warm, colorful hug. "We need silky threads for my pajamas," Sparkle yips, his voice soft and full of hope. Quacky nods, his beak wobbling, and says, "Let's find the shiniest ones." But as he hops forward, oh no, his webbed feet catch on a glowing vine. The vine wraps around Quacky like a shiny ribbon, tangling him up tight. He quacks wildly, flapping his wings, and tumbles forward, rolling down a soft hill covered in fluffy grass. Sparkle yips in surprise, then bursts into giggles as Quacky rolls, his feathers sticking out like a funny puffball. "Help, I'm a vine monster." Quacky quacks, his voice full of silliness. Sparkle runs after him, his little paws bouncing, and the butterflies join in, fluttering around with tiny giggles like tinkling bells. They all roll together, landing in a soft pile at the bottom of the hill, laughing so hard their sides shake. Sparkle's big eyes sparkle with laughter, and his fear from the high cliff feels far away, like a cloud that floated off. The butterflies swoop down, their glowing wings brushing gently against Sparkle's fur. They help untangle Quacky, pulling the vines with their tiny feet, humming a happy tune. Quacky pops free, his feathers all ruffled, and he quacks, "I'm a free duck," trying to strike a brave pose but slipping again with a funny flop. Sparkle laughs, his tail wagging like a little flag, and the garden feels like the coziest, happiest place in the world. The butterflies lead them to a special flower, its petals soft and silky, glowing like the morning sky. Sparkle's big eyes shine with wonder as he touches the threads, so smooth they feel like a hug. "These are perfect," he yips, his voice full of joy. Quacky tries to help gather the threads but gets a petal stuck on his beak, looking like a funny flower hat. "Look, Sparkle, I'm a garden star," he quacks, waddling in a silly circle. Sparkle giggles, his heart glowing with warmth, like a firefly's light. As they collect the silky threads, the garden hums softly, like a bedtime song wrapping them in calm. Sparkle's big eyes blink slowly, feeling heavy and happy. He yawns a tiny yawn, his fluffy fur warm in the garden's glow. But then, oh my, a sudden shadow flickers nearby, darting between the flowers. Sparkle's ears perk up, and a tiny tingle of fear tickles his heart, like a whisper in the dark. "What's that, Quacky?" he whispers, his big eyes blinking fast. Quacky puffs out his feathers, ready to be brave, but his beak wiggles nervously. The butterflies hum louder, their wings glowing brighter, as if to say, "Don't worry, little ones." Sparkle's heart beats fast, but he feels safe with his friends around him. The shadow moves again, quick and quiet, and Sparkle scoots closer to Quacky, his fur brushing against Quacky's feathers. His big eyes shine with a mix of wonder and curiosity, ready for whatever comes next. Quacky tries to juggle a shiny thread to cheer them up, but it slips and wraps around his foot, making him hop in a funny dance. Sparkle giggles softly, his laughter filling the garden like a gentle breeze. Sparkle and Quacky step onto big, soft lily pads, green and round like cozy boats. The lily pads bob gently on a sparkling lake, the water twinkling like a blanket of stars. Sparkle's big eyes shine with calm wonder, his fluffy tail wagging slowly. "Oh, Quacky," he yips softly, "it's so pretty." The water ripples, making a soothing sound, like a lullaby rocking them gently. Quacky flaps his wings, trying to steer his lily pad, but he spins in a funny circle, quacking, "I'm a dizzy duck." Sparkle giggles, his heart feeling light, like a feather floating on the breeze. The lake stretches out, leading to a peaceful lake temple in the distance, its stones glowing like moonlight. Sparkle's heart beats softly, full of joy as he imagines the shimmering strings they'll find there. The water sparkles under the sun, and tiny fish dart below, their scales flashing like little jewels. Sparkle's big eyes glow with wonder, and he feels so calm, like he's wrapped in a warm, starry hug. Quacky tries to catch a shiny fish with his beak but slips, splashing water on Sparkle's fur. "Oops," he quacks, and Sparkle laughs, his giggles bubbling like the lake's ripples. As they float, the air feels cool and gentle, the ripples soothing Sparkle's heart. He yawns a tiny yawn, his fluffy fur warm in the sunlight dancing on the water. But then, oh my, a soft fog rolls in, like a fluffy cloud hugging the lake. Sparkle's ears droop, and a gentle fear tickles his heart, like a whisper in the mist. "Quacky, where's the temple?" he whispers, his big eyes blinking fast. The fog makes everything fuzzy, and his fluffy chest goes thump-thump. Quacky scoots his lily pad closer, his feathers brushing Sparkle's fur. "Don't worry, Sparkle," he quacks. "We'll find it." To cheer Sparkle up, Quacky stands on his lily pad and does a silly duck dance, wobbling and flapping his wings. "Look, I'm a dancing star," he quacks, spinning until he almost falls off with a funny splash. Sparkle bursts into giggles, his fear melting like a snowflake in the sun. His big eyes sparkle with laughter, and he claps his paws, feeling warm and safe. The fog doesn't seem so scary now, with Quacky's silly dance lighting up the lake like a glowing smile. The lily pads float on, the fog thinning just a little, and Sparkle's heart feels calm again, like a quiet pond. He looks around, his big eyes wide with wonder as the temple's glow peeks through the mist. Suddenly, soft voices echo from the water, like a gentle song from the depths. "Who's that?" Sparkle yips, his voice soft but curious. The voices hum, wise and kind, like a secret waiting to be found. Quacky's beak wiggles, and he tries to mimic the voices but ends up quacking a funny tune instead, making Sparkle giggle again. The temple's light grows brighter, guiding their lily pads like a starry path. Sparkle's big eyes blink slowly, feeling heavy and happy. The water's ripples hug him gently, and he yawns another tiny yawn, his heart full of peace. "This is so magical," he whispers, his voice like a soft breeze. Quacky nods, trying to balance a shiny pebble on his beak, but it plops into the water with a silly splash. Sparkle's laughter echoes softly, filling the lake with joy. The temple glows with a warm, gentle light, its stones smooth and shiny like pebbles in a stream. Sparkle's big eyes shine as he looks around, his fluffy tail wagging slowly. "Oh, Quacky," he yips softly, "it's so peaceful." The air hums a quiet song, like a lullaby wrapping them in calm. Quacky waddles beside him, trying to look serious, but his webbed feet slip on the shiny floor, and he does a funny wobble, quacking, "Who made this floor so slippery?" Sparkle giggles, his heart bubbling with joy, like a sparkly fountain. From the temple's pool, wise fish with shimmering scales swim up, their colors twinkling like jewels, blue, green, and gold. Sparkle's big eyes grow wide with wonder, sparkling brighter than ever. The fish smile, their voices soft and kind, like a warm hug. They share stories of kindness, tales of helping friends, sharing shiny treasures, and making everyone smile. Sparkle listens, his heart feeling warm, like he's snuggled in a cozy blanket. His big eyes sparkle with happy tears, touched by the fish's gentle words. "Being kind is the best magic," one fish hums, and Sparkle nods, his tail wagging. The fish swim closer, offering special threads that glow like moonlight and feel like hugs. Sparkle takes them gently, his paws soft, and whispers, "Thank you." His voice is full of love, and his big eyes shine with deep emotion, like a starry sky. Quacky tries to help hold the threads but gets tangled, looking like a duck wrapped in a sparkly scarf. "I'm a shiny duck," he quacks, flapping his wings and making Sparkle laugh so hard his little paws bounce. The fish giggle too, their scales twinkling, and the temple feels like the warmest, happiest place. But then, oh my, a shadow flickers in the corner of the temple, quick and quiet like a whisper. Sparkle's ears perk up, and a tiny fear tickles his heart, like a chilly breeze. "What's that?" he yips, his big eyes blinking fast. The shadow moves again, and, oh no, their cozy buttons and silky threads vanish into the dark. Sparkle's fluffy chest goes thump-thump, a mix of fear and excitement swirling inside. "Our treasures," he whispers, scooting closer to Quacky. Quacky puffs out his feathers, trying to be brave. "Don't worry, Sparkle," he quacks, but his beak wiggles nervously. Sparkle's big eyes search the shadows, and he sees a lost shadow creature, small and shy, hiding their treasures. Its eyes are big like Sparkle's, but scared, like it's lost in the dark. Sparkle's heart softens, and he feels a warm glow, like a firefly's light. "Maybe it's just scared," he whispers, his voice gentle. He steps forward, his fluffy fur glowing in the temple's light, and speaks softly, "Hello, little shadow. We're friends." The creature blinks, its eyes wide, and Sparkle smiles, his big eyes sparkling with innocent empathy. Quacky tries to help by doing a silly dance, wobbling and quacking, "Join us, shadow friend." The creature hesitates, then slowly steps out, returning the treasures with a shy wiggle. Sparkle yips happily, his heart full of joy, and offers the creature a gentle paw pat, like a hug. The fish hum a happy song, and the temple glows brighter, wrapping them all in warmth. Quacky tries to juggle a thread but drops it with a funny plop, making everyone giggle, even the shadow creature. Sparkle's big eyes blink slowly, feeling heavy and happy. He yawns a tiny yawn, his fluffy fur warm in the temple's glow. "Kindness makes friends," he whispers, his voice like a soft breeze. The shimmering threads feel so cozy in his paws, like a promise of sweet dreams. Quacky nods, trying to balance a fish scale on his beak, but it slips, and he quacks, "Oops, too shiny." Sparkle's laughter echoes softly, filling the temple with joy. Close your eyes now, little dreamers, and imagine resting in a glowing temple with Sparkle and Quacky. Feel the soft light, hear the fish's gentle hum, and see the sparkly threads like tiny hugs. Sparkle's heart is full of wonder and kindness, knowing even shadows can be friends. Let's drift into a peaceful sleep, dreaming of shimmering pools and silly giggles. Good night, little ones. Sleep tight, just like Sparkle. Snuggle up tight, little dreamers, and close your eyes. Let's drift to a magical place, deep inside the glowing lake temple, where the air sparkles like moonlight and feels as soft as a warm hug. Our tiny puppy, Sparkle, with his big, sparkling innocent eyes, stands with his best friend, Quacky the goofy duck, in a pool of gentle light. Sparkle's heart is full of wonder, like a sky bursting with stars, and a tiny bit of bravery, like a glowing firefly, as he faces a special moment. The temple hums softly, its stones shimmering like a quiet lullaby. Sparkle's big eyes blink at the shadow creature, small and shy, hiding in the corner with their cozy buttons and silky threads. Its eyes are big, just like Sparkles, but they look scared, like a lost star in the dark. Sparkles' fluffy chest feels a warm glow, and he steps forward, his paws soft on the smooth floor. "Don't be afraid," he yips gently, his voice like a breeze. "We're friends." His big eyes shine with kindness, and he opens his arms for a gentle hug. The shadow creature trembles, then slowly creeps closer, its shadowy form flickering. Sparkle smiles, his tail wagging slowly, and says, "You look lonely. Want to stay with us?" The creature blinks, its eyes softening, and it whispers in a tiny voice, "I'm all alone." Sparkle's big eyes sparkle with happy tears, his heart full of deep emotion, like a warm blanket wrapping them both. He pats the creature's shadowy paw, and it gives back the buttons and threads, its form glowing a little brighter. Quacky quacks softly, "Yay, new friend," but trips over his webbed feet, landing with a funny plop that makes everyone giggle. The temple glows brighter, like it's happy too. Sparkle, Quacky, and their new shadow friend sit together, the shimmering fish swimming around them, humming a gentle song. They start weaving the new Starlight Pajamas, using the cozy cloud buttons, silky garden threads, and shimmering lake strings. Sparkle's paws move carefully, his big eyes shining with wonder as the fabric glows like a starry sky. "It's so beautiful," he yips, his voice full of joy. Quacky tries to help but gets a thread stuck on his beak, looking like a funny mustache. "I'm a fancy duck," he quacks, wobbling in a silly dance. Sparkle laughs, his giggles echoing like tiny bells, making the temple feel cozy and happy. The shadow creature watches, its eyes twinkling now, and it helps weave, its shadowy paws gentle. Sparkle's heart feels big and warm, like a hug from the moon. He yips softly, "You're not alone anymore." The creature smiles, its form glowing like a soft star. The fish hum louder, their scales sparkling, and the temple wraps them all in a peaceful glow, like a big, starry blanket. Sparkle's big eyes blink slowly, feeling heavy and calm. He yawns a tiny yawn, his fluffy fur warm in the temple's light. They finish the pajamas, and Sparkle holds them up, their blue fabric twinkling like the night sky. He slips them on, and they feel so soft, like a hug from all his friends. "They're perfect," he whispers, his voice like a gentle breeze. Quacky tries to juggle a button but drops it with a funny clink, quacking, "Too shiny for me." Sparkle and the shadow creature giggle, their laughter filling the temple with joy. Sparkle's heart feels brave and loved, knowing even small hearts can make big friends. The temple's glow fades softly, and the stars outside begin to twinkle, singing a lullaby that drifts through the air. Sparkle curls up on the smooth floor, his new pajamas cozy against his fur. Quacky waddles close, his feathers fluffy, and the shadow creature snuggles nearby, its form glowing faintly. Sparkle's big eyes close slowly, his heart full of warmth, like a firefly's light. He yawns again, feeling safe and happy, like he's wrapped in a starry hug. "Kindness makes everything better," he whispers, his voice soft and sleepy. The stars sing louder, their song gentle and soothing, like a warm bed calling. Sparkle's fluffy chest rises and falls, his breathing slow and calm. Quacky tries one last silly quack, but it turns into a sleepy mumble, making Sparkle smile. The shadow creature hums a tiny tune, happy to have friends. The temple feels like the coziest place in the world, wrapping them in peace and love. Close your eyes now, little dreamers, and imagine resting with Sparkle, Quacky, and their new friend. Feel the soft pajamas, hear the stars' gentle song, and see the temples glow like a big hug. Sparkle's heart is full of bravery and love, knowing small hearts can do big things. Let's drift into a peaceful sleep, dreaming of starry skies and happy giggles. Good night, little ones. Sleep tight, just like Sparkle.